Welcome. Today we're going to look at how to calculate the reciprocal method. It's a very challenging method, and there's one area of the question that students struggle with all the time. And again, if you get this one little section wrong, you'll get everything wrong. So I want to really emphasize how you come up with your equations and how you interpret the information. So that's really important. So you've got your question, you've got secure RS, and I love this question. You're asked to use the reciprocal method twice. You're asked to use it for fixed information and for variable information. What I'll do is I'll focus on the fixed, because once you understand the fixed, you can then apply the same methodology to the variable information as well. So let's look at the fixed, and let's make sure we separate the information. A lot of information is thrown at you. So separate what is fixed, what is variable, and only focus on the fixed. So let's get started. So our fixed information and our fixed cost pool. What we want to do is we want to, again, understanding this, is we want to know how much it's costing us to have our engineering provide support and our information systems provide support, and how much we're going to allocate of that cost to our two systems, our home security systems and our business security systems. So when we finish this, we can allocate these costs to our two systems, and then we can analyze how profitable our home security system is when we compare that to our business security system. And again, these two systems receive support, and we want to allocate that support based on their usage. So let's get started, and we're using the reciprocal method, the more accurate method, but again, the more complex method. And we're going to focus purely on the fixed cost. So our information tells us that our fixed cost pool has engineering support costs of $2,800 and information system support of $8,100. So when I go and I work and solve this, that is my starting point. So when I'm looking at solving my fixed cost pool, we can get started right now. So for my engineering support and my information system support, I can use this information right now and start my two equations. So my engineering, we know the cost there for fixed is $2,800. We know the cost for information systems is $8,100. That's my starting point. Now, what we notice using the reciprocal method is that there's a crossover effect. Is that information systems not only provide support for security, home, and business, they also provide support to engineering. Engineering provides support for security, home, and business, but also the information systems area. So there's a crossover there between the two support areas. So what we have to do is we have to allocate a portion of that as well into our equations. Now, how do we read our data? Now, you heard me say this in class, and I'll mention it here again, is that the best way to interpret this data, again, and this is my little technique, is to read it down and to the left. And it's what I focused on in class. And that's understanding and interpreting this chart. So the first thing is, let's start at the top. Right again, read at the top and work your way down. Use by is the title at the top. So engineering and information systems and home security and business security, this is what they use of, and this is where we read to the left, the support departments. So if we were to focus on what engineering uses, you start up here. Engineering uses 20% of the information systems support. So that's how you interpret this chart. And that's where the challenge is in this question for the most part, is understanding that interpretation. So again, start at the top, work your way down, read to the left. Engineering uses 20% of information systems. And this was supplied by engineering and information systems. So engineering uses 20% of the IS. So when we go to our fixed cost pool over here, we're going to take our original equation here, and then we're going to add 20%, 0.2 of the IS department. And that's how we're going to complete that first equation there. Now, what about the information systems? Again, over here, read down and to the left. Information systems, they use 10% of engineering. So again, you'll complete the equation here, 0.10 of your engineering. And that's how you basically are going to go ahead and set up your two equations here. Now, the reciprocal method then requires us to solve for one of these. And we need to solve for the ES or the IS. Now, how do we do this? Well, it doesn't matter which approach you use. You can take the information from the ES and put it into the IS. Or you can do the other way. You can put the IS information into the ES. Either way will work. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. What we can do is we can solve for the engineering support first. So 2,800 plus 0.2 of information systems. Well, what does information systems equal? Information systems equals this. 8,100 plus 0.1 ES. And that's then how you solve this. So when you do all that and you put it all together, you're now going to see that the engineering support will be equal to 4,510. And that's how you'll basically get that number. Now, once you have the engineering support number of 4,510, all you have to do then is put that 4,510 into the information systems equation, and you'll get the information systems number now. So let me just quickly show you that. You take the information systems formula, 8,100 plus 0.10 or 10% of the engineering number, which was 4,510, and you add those two numbers together, you will get 8,551 as your information systems value. And therefore, you have now solved your two values using the reciprocal method. After this, you now put this into the chart, and you can allocate these amounts to the three areas, to the home security and the business security systems, plus then one of the other two. Your engineering will be allocated a little bit to information systems, and then the information systems will allocate a little bit to engineering. Hopefully that helps you. Have a good day.